Do you want to know how to teach children respect? I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach parenting all over the world through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, we're talking about creating an environment for respect. In this video, we're going to be talking about respect and what that really means in a family, because sometimes parents don't fully understand what it means to respect a child. And children definitely are struggling understanding what it means to respect parental authority. So we're going to talk about that, and then we will talk about what you can do to create an environment where children can learn to like respect. So the word respect actually means to revere another person, to value another person, to honor another person, and to know who that person is. So if you know a person and you honor that person, and you treat them in a way that shows you honor that person, then you respect them. So what does it mean for a child to respect a parent then? Well, that would mean that the child understands what the parent role is. Who is parent? Who is mother? Who is father? And then they would honor that and follow that person, or they would value the things that that person says or is teaching them, right? So what is parent? That's going to be important for us to understand. But then also, what does it mean to respect a child? Many parents will come to me and they say, well, I think there's two problems in our family. I think the children don't respect the parents, but I also think we don't respect them. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. So what does it mean to respect a child? Well, that means that you understand who they are. You honor that and value that. What does that look like? Does it look exactly the same as respecting the parent? No. It looks totally different, actually. So let's talk about that. Years ago, I wrote a book called Parenting a House United. I'm the most known for this book out of all 11 books that I've written, even though they all hook together to create one big self-government training program. But this Parenting a House United book, I thought when I wrote this that everybody understood roles and what the roles are in a family. Like, what does it mean to be mother? What is the role of mother? What does it mean to be father? What does it mean to be a 13-year-old daughter or a 5-year-old son? What are the roles of those family members? I thought people understood that was just a given, but it was not. People kept asking me questions that I knew related to roles. They would say things such as, what if my child won't listen to me when I'm talking to them? What if my child is bossing me around? What if they're always litigating like a lawyer with me? What should I do? And I would say, that child has a roles issue. So in the end, I ended up writing a whole separate book about roles so that people could get that piece in place, so that they could learn about all the self-government skills to teach their children, and they would actually stick. If the family does not understand their roles, they can't respect each other. So let's talk about the roles quickly. What is the role of mother? Well, mother is a teacher. She's also the heart and hearthstone of the family. She guides the little hearts of her family members. Husbands too. She guides them all, okay? And she guides the children. She can turn them toward father or away from father. She gets to morally ground them at the very beginning. And until a child is about 11 or 12, that child will see mother as their prime example. She is the source of wisdom. Once they hit about 11 or 12, they turn toward father. So who is father then? Father is a provider, a protector. He actually is, oftentimes people will say he presides in the home. There's these P words. So what does it mean to preside? It actually means to point their hearts back toward that source of wisdom that they need and toward mother. So as he protects them, he points them back toward mother again and again, and her training and her teaching. Of course, he is wisdom as well, but they see mother in a different way. How do they see father? They see him as acceptance. They want father to accept them. So if father does anything that goes against mother's ways, they're going to start to do those things so that father will accept them a little bit better. A lot of parents don't realize that that's what they're doing. Fathers will want their children to turn out like mothers, not like them, but then they keep pulling them away from mother by the way that they behave. If you provide for your family, you keep pointing them back toward truth and toward full family unity, which means father points children toward mother, mother points children toward father, and then hopefully the end result is children get wisdom and acceptance. They end up feeling fully secure as they move forward in life. That's the roles in the family, but both parents are teachers. Both father and mother are teachers of their children, and children are learners. If the teachers don't teach or the children won't learn, then we have dysfunction that happens in the family. And that is a really hard thing to overcome. So we want to make sure that we are properly getting the roles straight in the home if we want our children to respect us. We have to respect their role as learner and teach. We're going to talk about what to do to set up a dynamic where both parents and children are respected, with an emphasis on what we can teach our children to make sure that they respect us. But before we do that, click that subscribe button. Then you'll be able to see more videos like this that can help your family. So why are children struggling so much to learn respect for their parents? It's actually because many parents are not requiring it. Many parents are not teaching their children to respect them. They are putting up with all kinds of misbehavior. When a parent has high tolerances, that means that they are tolerating misbehavior. If you have your tolerances too high, if a child talks back to you and you talk back to them and you negotiate with them, that is really high tolerances, and you're teaching your child to disrespect you. Should a child be able to talk to you? Absolutely, but there's a skill for that. The skill for that is called disagreeing appropriately. When you teach your child the skill to disagree appropriately with you, they're not trying to convince you of something as much as they're just trying to be understood and show that they understand you too. This is a unifying skill instead of talk back, which is actually a skill that pulls us apart and shows disrespect. When a person chooses to use the skill disagreeing appropriately, they actually begin by asking their parent, "May I disagree appropriately?" That right there keeps the roles in the right place. So there are many skills for self-government, 4 basic ones, and disagreeing appropriately is one of those 4 basic skills for self-government. This book here teaches the skill disagreeing appropriately. In this book, you see Paige trying to be understood by her music professor, by her siblings, and by her parents, and she needs disagreeing appropriately for all of those relationships in order to be understood and to do it in a respectful way. Now, like I said, there are 4 basic skills of self-government. The other 3 are following instructions, accepting no answers and criticism, and accepting consequences. When a person learns all 4 of the 4 basic skills, they will be respectful with everyone. That doesn't mean they have to get their way every time, because they won't every time. If they don't get their way when they disagree appropriately, no problem, because they know how to follow instructions or accept no answers, which is probably how the circumstance started in the first place. They can accept those things and move on. They can drop the subject. They don't have to force another person. A home that is self-governing should be a home that feels a lot more like trust and not force. If a person is trying to force other people, that is a sure sign that they are not respecting the other people around them. If they look at those other people as people that need to do things for them, they are definitely not respecting the other people. Keep that in mind as a parent. We want to make sure we're not just ordering our children around all the time, but we're actually giving them the opportunity to think of some things to do on their own as well. So roles are going to be important, skills are important, but also manners. Let's make sure that we learn proper manners in our home. Manners are the sign of refinement. I know our society is not doing a great job with manners right now, and we're definitely not doing a good job at refinement. People are more casual than ever before, and they are more vocally aggressive, even physically aggressive, than they ever were before. This is a sign of wildness in our culture or being not civilized. Manners are things that have historically civilized us, and we learn manners best by learning them first with our parents. Teach your children to say please and thank you, to say may I disagree appropriately. Teach them to follow your instructions and to honor your authority in all things. And when they do, then they will have not just more respect for you, but they'll learn to respect other people too. I have to tell you, I have 2 son-in-laws, and these 2 son-in-laws, when they came into the family, they did something that impressed me so much. Now, maybe they were trying to impress me, I don't know. But when they came into the family, both of them came to my house to visit, and they would say, "What can I do to help? How can I help you?" But the thing is, to this day, they still do this. I think they were just trained with good manners. And if they weren't, they adopted them somewhere along the line. But I'm so grateful for these young men that know that it is polite when you're at somebody else's house to see how you can help and not just take from the other person and expect them to do things for you. Because that's selfish, it's a sign of an unrefined person, it's rude, and it actually leads to disrespect. Anytime that you're just worried about yourself, it leads to disrespect. This leads me to another point, which is that we need to have our communications at home be about the full family, not just about the individual. One of the ways that we do this is by having good, effective family meetings. Our family has family meetings every week. Every Sunday evening, we have a meeting together as a family where we discuss. And we don't just discuss what we want the family to do for us, but instead we discuss the whole dynamic of the family and who we're becoming as a family group. This leads to increased respect in the family culture. Also, in a family meeting, when a person gets the opportunity to make legislation for the family and vote on things as a family member, this also helps them to take ownership over their family relationships and to see that the family respects them and they need to respect the family members. Another thing that you can do, especially if you have younger children at home, is give older children the opportunity to serve younger children. Obviously, younger children can get the opportunity to serve the elders as well, but it's really good if the elders serve the youngers so that they are not entitled. This is a great thing that you can do to help increase respect amongst the siblings and for the entire family dynamic. If you've enjoyed this video, I have another video for you that will go into a lot more detail about the skills that will help in your children learning self-government and proper respect. That video is called The Not So Known Secret for Parenting Success. Click on the link to that video now. I'll see you there.